So something you'll notice if you get used to Amazon, which is kind of funny, is that Amazon has this most helpful feature. And what happens for almost every book is that the negative reviews are voted most helpful because a lot of people make their purchasing decision based on the negative reviews. So people who haven't read the book, like I haven't read this book, but I can still vote. So I'll go on here and I might, this is the first page, like the main page of the book. So of course they're going to see these negative reviews down here because they show up first because they have more helpful votes. And then more and more people are going to click yes if they agree with these negative reviews and then feel like, thanks for this negative review so that I didn't buy the book. This says save your money, don't buy it. So I might think, oh, they must be right. And I see that, it's featured on the homepage for this book and there's all these negative reviews here. So I might just click, like I wouldn't even think about it. I just click yes, these are helpful and move on. That's why these negative reviews keep getting more and more helpful votes from mostly people who didn't even read the book and shows up on your Amazon page. Amazon is trying to make sure that there's an honest representation of the book. So they're trying to make sure that readers, get the right information and that they don't just see these like 5-star, wonderful, loved it book reviews. And people are more likely to believe these long negative book reviews than they are the short positive ones. But if you have, like, if your homepage is filled up with these negative book reviews, that's a big problem because it also gives the impression that this is a bad book that nobody liked. And that's not at all true because if we look up here, there's 128 reviews and they're mostly positive. These are people who have read the book. And most people who have read the book, they knew it was about mermaids, they liked the book. The 1-star reviews, it's only 3%. So, I mean, the truth of the situation is that most people are liking the book, but that's not the impression you get from the Amazon page because when you scroll down here, people don't read all the reviews. They're just going to see whatever was voted most helpful. So what I recommend you do, and I wrote a post about this earlier, which is very controversial because people don't want to mess with Amazon reviews. They don't even want to, like, Amazon will remove reviews if they think your friends are writing them or if you have any relationship with the reviewer. So you need to be a little bit careful when you're like emailing your fans and getting them to review the book. But I think it's completely okay to find another one of these books. Maybe I'll choose this other 5-star review and to ask your friends to vote that this book was helpful. Was this review helpful to me? So you want to find a longer review and you want to find something that's balanced, not something that's just, 5 stars, I love this book, lots of exclamation points. People will be skeptical of those books, but if they feel like it's a real honest, longer 4-star review, they'll believe it. It's more authentic. So I would click on this and then I'd take the link and I would just email it to my email list or I'd put it on Facebook and I would ask my friends to go and vote for, was this review helpful to you? Yes, you're just asking them to vote for one thing. They don't have to buy the book. The reason I don't think this is dishonest or anything is because most of the people who click yes or no on these feedback buttons, they haven't read the books either. They're just random people on Amazon. And there's a statistical setup in the Amazon system that makes it more likely that people are going to hit yes on the negative reviews. And that's why on almost all books, when you go to their sales page, their main Amazon page, it's going to show all the negative reviews on the home page, which is it's misleading because it's not the truth of the situation. It would be different if she had a 2-star average, if everybody hated the book, then if you're trying to do something like upvoting the positive reviews, it can be scammy because you are giving a false impression. You don't want to mislead readers. You don't want to give a false impression of what readers think of the book. But this is already a false impression. Having all these negative reviews they were upvoted by people who probably hadn't read the books yet. That's already a negative impression. It's a negative and untrue impression of the true state of affairs, which is that most people actually enjoy the book. So if you want to, when people are finding your book, you're on Amazon, you want to make it clear to your readers that the majority of people liked your book. So all you're doing is trying to rectify this sorry state of affairs, which is kind of, I believe, a flaw in the Amazon ecosystem, that all these negative reviews end up on the first page. And that's what's mostly going to drive your decision. So like, this one's really terrible, save your money and don't buy it. It's really negative. I would try to get this review off of the homepage by, it has 22 out of 29 people thought this was helpful. So I need to get 25 or 30 people to say yes on another review so that it shows up on the homepage and you get a more honest, more authentic, more balanced representation of the reviews on the homepage. And so again, I just pick on one of these reviews and email it to my list or put it on Facebook and ask people to vote, yes, this was helpful to me. You can even, in the back of your book, you can even say, please leave a review on the Amazon page, and also please click yes to upvote some of the other positive reviews that helped you make your decision. Or you could ask, like, when you were buying this book, did you read a review that helped you to influence your decision? If so, please go back and hit yes, this review was helpful. That's the kind of thing, nobody asks for that sort of thing. And so the only people who click yes are people who haven't read the book and people who are clicking yes on the negative reviews, which is why it's really important to do this, but also very controversial. So keep in mind, a lot of people are uncomfortable with something that feels like manipulating reviews. But I don't believe we're manipulating anything. I think it's our responsibility on our own book page to convince readers to buy the book. If you're not doing that, nobody's going to be doing that for you. Nobody, like Amazon, they don't really care if anybody buys your book because there's millions of other books for them to buy, and Amazon still makes money. But you are the author. It's your responsibility to do what you can to, give your book the best chance. If people buy your book and hate your book and leave negative reviews, and there's tons of negative reviews, that's something you can't fix. But if most people are buying your book and liking it, and you have a majority of positive reviews, you can't let a bunch of negative reviews show up on your homepage and give the false impression that most people don't like your book. So all we're doing is rectifying kind of a broken system. We're not manipulating or misleading readers at all.